The most recent example can be the Netherlands.
There's always the risk inflation may come down for a while and then reaccelerate, right? So you're always kind of hostage to
The Dutch economy saw 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth before entering a recession. The Central Bureau of Statistics, CBC, stated that the economy declined by 0.3% in the second quarter of the year after declining by 0.4% in the first quarter. So what really happened to the Dutch economy once it was blooming one? Let's discuss the slowing down of the Dutch economy. With a highly competitive international business environment, the Netherlands is undoubtedly a destination of the highest caliber for business activity. In fact, it came in 6th place overall in the World Competitiveness Ranking in 2022. The Netherlands does exceptionally well on the variables relating to business efficiency, such as the labour market and finance, and it ranks highly for infrastructure and business efficiency. It is frequently compared to South Korea and is unquestionably among the top 10 nations with the best infrastructure worldwide. Nearly every other nation in the world might be eclipsed by Singapore's flawless network of roads, contemporary airports, and seaports. Surprisingly, despite its small size, this nation exports more agricultural goods than any other nation in the world after the United States, and its 17 million citizens could be fed even if there were no commerce. Agricultural products were exported by the Netherlands for €122.3 billion in 2022. Both the volume and price increases were responsible for this growth. The amount of crop and livestock production in the Netherlands has increased by 20% since 1995. However, there has been a 20% decrease in fertilizer use and no appreciable increase in natural gas consumption. It is beyond dispute that they are the centre of world food exploration. Nestle, Coca-Cola, Unilever, Cargill and Kraft Heinz are just a few of the largest top 20 agri-food companies that have established sizable R&D facilities here. The Dutch have perfected efficiency because of their small land area and wet weather. They also have highly developed industries, so it is not just restricted to agriculture. The nation lacks resources, much like South Korea and Japan. It therefore imports inexpensive resources and exports high-quality finished goods. In reality, they produce practically all of its requirements. Businesses of various shapes and sizes call it home. The top tech industries in the area are quantum computing, artificial intelligence, technology startup innovation, and sustainable innovation. The Netherlands is home to the corporate offices and centres of major technology companies like IBM, Microsoft, Google, Oracle, Cisco, Philips, and the sports car manufacturer Spyker Cars. The Netherlands economy, which is the 17th largest in the world as a result of all of this, is robust. Nominal GDP, which is another name for the country's entire economic production, impressively topped $1 trillion in 2023. With a GDP per capita of 72,973, the Netherlands is not only a wealthy country, but also has one of the richest populations in the world. However, there are good arguments for the idea that this riches is sometimes deceiving. Even while the Netherlands may appear wealthy on the surface, the rising cost of living has caused many people to feel financially burdened. Now we can discuss its fall. When compared to other Western European nations, the Dutch economy suffered the highest inflation rate in September 2022, reaching 14.5%. Even if it is presently declining, the core inflation rate is stubbornly high. The terms cost of living and inflation are frequently used interchangeably. Despite being closely related, they are not the same. The main issue is inflation. The purchasing power of the dollar decreases when the price of goods and services rise. As opposed to this, the term cost of living describes the amount of money needed to maintain a particular level of living, which includes fundamental needs like housing, food, healthcare, education, transportation, and other important goods and services. So how does the Dutch economy be affected by the rising cost of living? It's actually quite straightforward. As living expenses rise, household finances are put under pressure. Retail sales growth figures have been negative since reaching an all-time high of 13.5%, so there have already been some indications of this. However, when it comes to indicators of consumer confidence, there are even more concerning signals for the foreseeable future. This index, which assesses opinions on both the general state of the economy and individual financial situations, is currently at its lowest point since the financial crisis's height in 2008. In general, the European economy has recovered from the global financial crisis, but it hasn't totally recovered. The Dutch economy has grown the least slowly of all of them. The weakening of consumer spending and household consumption is one of the main issues of this stagnation. Anxiety brought on by skyrocketing home prices is the main driver of this fall in consumer confidence. The cost of housing in the Netherlands has risen dramatically since 2008. At a starting €424,681 on average, the cost of a home is now more than 10 times the median salary of €40,000. Average household disposable income climbed by 25% between 2015 and 2021, but house prices soared by 63% as a result of low loan rates and a nationwide shortage of 390,000 dwellings. Houses in hotspots had surged by more than 130% since the end of 2013 by the time the housing boom peaked last year. Even if house prices have decreased by 6% and the Dutch central bank expects more declines, it is still not enough to reverse the recent sharp price increases. The government wants to build 900,000 homes by 2030 to address the issue, but this will be difficult due to the high cost of construction materials, rising financing rates, and nitrogen pollution. The housing problem is a very significant issue that has gotten worse recently. Class gaps are more evident. The number of homeless individuals has risen. A quarter of renters are struggling to pay their expenses, and young people, particularly those with low earnings and no affluent parents, clearly finding it difficult to get homes. The Netherlands outperformed several of its European neighbours after the coronavirus outbreak, but a technical recession has since followed. The Dutch economy recovered from the coronavirus drop far more quickly and robustly than the rest of Europe. That has changed in the past year, according to CBS chief economist Peter Hein van Mullen. Although consumer spending on culture and recreation increased, the statistics office noted a fall in consumer expenditure on goods like furniture and apparel. Additionally, the slowdown in exports and the rise in imports hurt international trade. The Netherlands has been struggling with high inflation and rising interest rates, which have been exacerbated in part by the decision to cease importing cheap Russian oil and gas after its invasion of Ukraine last year. The Dutch economy has a long history of great performance, which may be attributed to a number of reasons, including a highly educated workforce, a strategic position, solid trade ties, and a well-developed infrastructure. However, a slowdown could result from a number of factors. Let's check it out. 1. Global economic conditions. The export-oriented nature of the Dutch economy makes it heavily reliant on international trade. Dutch export demand may decline as a result of a downturn in the economies of key trading partners. 2. Trade disruptions. The prospects for the expansion of the Dutch economy can be harmed by trade disputes, geopolitical unrest, or the implementation of tariffs. 3. Dependency on specific sectors. An overall economic slowdown may result if the Dutch economy is largely dependent on certain sectors that are struggling, such as manufacturing or agriculture. 4. Technological changes. Rapid technical breakthroughs may cause changes in industries and labour markets, which may have an effect on employment and sector growth. 5. Ageing population. The population of the Netherlands is ageing, as is the case in many affluent nations. A more senior population may result in lower labour force participation and thus slower economic growth. 6. Government policies. Economic growth can be impacted by monetary and fiscal policies. A slowdown could result from government actions that restrict consumer or investment spending. 7. Environmental concerns. Industry changes may be necessary as a result of environmental issues and the shift to more sustainable practices, which could temporarily slow growth. 8. Brexit. Dutch trade and commercial ties may be affected by the United Kingdom's exit from the European Union, Brexit, which could cause disruptions. 9. Global health crisis. Unexpected health crisis can have a significant negative impact on the economy, disrupt supply networks, and erode consumer and corporate confidence. Additionally, the state of the economy might alter over time. That's all about today's video. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and click the notification bell to get informed by our upcoming videos.